So I'm Marian Clark, and I work for a large financial services company in South Africa. And I head up a training division that is specifically for sales and distribution. So we've got a fairly big team of around 55 odd people. And we've got trainers, we've got instructional designers, we've got a lot of operations staff as well. And we are always aiming to be the absolute best in the market in financial services. So we really strive to be the best of the best in both our knowledge and our experience and our sort of methodologies of delivering training. When COVID hit, prior to COVID, we'd already been trying to get into the sort of the digital training space. And we did a lot of asynchronous online learning, a lot of e-learning. But when COVID hit, it was obvious that we needed to get properly into the virtual synchronous training space. And it was we sort of flung into the situation unceremoniously and had to, get into the online space. And we were doing okay. Everybody studied up overnight and we did all the relevant courses and, we were brainstorming, but we knew that we needed help to be taken to the next level. So being, the competitive bunch of people that we are and always wanting to be the best, we thought, okay, let's bring in the big guns. Let's find a training course of some kind that is going to take us to the next level. At that point, I didn't really know what I was looking for. So I just started casting the net wide and looking at all possible options. Can we do this ourselves, or do we need to have, be guided through this process? And I looked at, internal companies in South Africa. I looked at companies in America. And then I came across VTT, and I had a number of sessions with people, the sales organizations. And I asked a lot of questions because our team is quite particular. They don't suffer fools gladly. And I know that they're tough customers. So whichever training organization I chose had to be the best, they absolutely had to be the best. So I asked the coordinator from VTT a lot of questions, and we had a couple of sessions. And by the end of it, I felt this sort of warm, fuzzy feeling. I don't know how else to describe it, but I knew I was with the right people, because all of the questions I was asking, I could see that they wanted to tailor it to us, who we are and what our aims are. And it just left me feeling like our sort of training standards and we were in sync. I think that's the best way to describe it. And I knew that they wanted to deliver what we wanted to have delivered. So we were, it just felt like it meshed, So I think that's really with the journey that we went on to find VTT. I definitely had reservations. And I think that stems from having a group of very experienced trainers. I mean, we've got people who've, had 20 years experience in training. They're all specialists, they're specialists in their fields. So I definitely had reservations. But I think there's two reasons why it works so well. And firstly, because VTT has got such a specific methodology that they just make you feel so comfortable that they know what they're doing and that they're so experienced in this that they're teaching us things that they've been doing for years and years and years. So they just, the one principle of safe hands, we just absolutely felt we were in safe hands. Like, these guys, they've got us, they know what they're doing and they're going to be able to teach us these new methods. And the second part of it is, and that's for any learning and development professional, we all know that if the learner isn't vested, then they're not going to learn anything. They have to come into the situation with an open mind and think, right, what can I learn? You know, even if somebody was going to go in there and say like, okay, 90% of it I already knew, which nobody did, but even if they were going to do that, then let's take that 10% and just really know and understand it extremely well. So people were excited coming into it. Nobody went into it with an idea of, oh, what are they going to teach me? So because they went into it with that way of thinking, they were just absorbent to whatever it, you know, was that VTT was teaching us. So it was dual. It was the fact that the team was really excited about learning, and the fact that VTT had brilliant knowledge to be able to share with us. So that was what made it work. I think I'd say as a participant, because I'm a terrible training participant, you know, I've got itchy feet and my concentration levels are really bad. I'm really the worst delegate that one can have. So for me, because the facilitator and the coach kept us involved so heavily, I didn't have time to be bored. I didn't have time to have itchy feet. I was forced to continuously pay attention and, you know, make sure that I am always engaged, which is really good because, I mean, I think given any opportunity, I would veer off and busy, you know, fiddle with my emails and things like that. And I didn't have any of those opportunities. So I was forced to engage, but it was brilliant. And it allowed me to learn. What I also thoroughly enjoyed, because I'm also a very analytical person, is everything was so clearly laid out. You know, it was very, it was compartmentalized. You know, although I knew the whole picture, it was very clear what we were going to do, how we were going to do it, and what the outcomes were that we were going to achieve. So I personally, you know, enjoyed that style of learning. It is hard to take one key tip. Obviously, there were so many, but I have thought about the most important element that I would take away, and that is you've got to be so prepared and practice. You know, we're quite facilitators that have been around for a long time are used to sort of sometimes winging it. You know your content, you know you're a good facilitator, you can waltz into the class and, you know, do what you need to do. But with the, you know, virtual online training, especially at this phase that we're at, we need to be so prepared. You need to know Zoom or whatever platform you're using inside out. You need to be so comfortable. You need to be so prepared. And I think what really, you know, made me understand that was our coach. She was incredible. She really was. I mean, she just made us feel like she knew exactly what she was doing. At no point in time did she look like she was fumbling. There was no weirdness going on. There was no oopses. There was no, I don't know how to describe it. You really have to experience it, because again, it was that safe hands. We just felt like we were in safe hands all the time. And we want our facilitators to mirror what our coach was doing. And I think that's just going to take time. It's going to take practice for them to be able to be in that absolute space that our coach was.